Abraham Hicks have an analogy that they regularly used where they reference which side of the stick are you focusing on. On one side of the stick, it's things that feel good, and on the other side of the stick, it's things that feel not so good. And wherever you're giving your attention, that's what you're creating more of in your moment-to-moment life. So based off of a message I sent a friend this morning, I felt I'm going to share these thoughts in a video today because I feel like somebody might just benefit from hearing them. And it's to do with what I've been experiencing and navigating in my own life for the past little while. What I noticed is that following this idea of Abraham Hicks' analogy of the stick, I was using quite a bit of effort to get to the side of the stick that feels better, the feelings that feel good. But I know what Abraham means is that focusing on that side of the stick that feels better, it's got to be because you're naturally going there, not because you're using effort to go there. And this is what this video is about. I noticed that I was using effort to go there. But when I really tuned into myself, I noticed that I was getting up in the mornings and had the intention that this is going to be a really good day and I'm going to show up as my best version. And instantly, I could feel, without acknowledging it, there was a little bit of pressure behind that. Like, I'm going to do this. There's motivation. I'm going to focus on this side of the stick today. But here's the thing, and this is what I want to make this video about. I've heard Abraham reference this once, maybe twice, and I think it's really important. Sometimes there's, you could say, like a grey area in between one side of the stick and the other. And that's where we sometimes need to clean out the drawers. And what I feel they mean by that is that sometimes the negative emotion, the pipes that don't feel so good that we've activated within ourselves, they can be so active and we've been feeding them for such a long time. Sometimes we have to actually sit with them and, in a sense, work the bugs out of them rather than try to move to the side of the stick that feels better, when actually what we're doing is we're bringing in effort, which is not what Abraham teach. They teach flow and effortlessness. And once we let go of the resistance, our cork naturally floats. So what I noticed is I was trying to focus on the side of the stick that felt better to me by saying, I'm going to show up in this way today. I'm going to be this version of myself today because that's the version of me that's going to have a better day. That's the version of me who's going to manifest the preferred life or take the steps towards manifesting the preferred life. But all the while, I was ignoring that actually, as much as I tried to move my attention to the side of the stick that felt better, by using the right tone of voice, by doing all the right things in a sense, it was like beneath the surface, I was bringing energy of avoiding the other side of the stick rather than just naturally letting my cork float and give my attention to the side of the stick that feels better. So sometimes I feel what Abraham means is that when we need to clean out those drawers, it is, if you were to look at it as a little child within yourself, and there's a child within you that's upset and that's scared or that's sad or just wants some attention, wants to be felt, wants to be sat with, doesn't want to be taught, doesn't want anything to be expected of her to change in that moment or him to change in that moment. She just wants to be heard and sat with and accepted and included. And that's another thing Abraham teaches. This is a universe of inclusion. There is no such thing as exclusion. There is only where you give your attention. So, using the analogy of this little girl or little boy within us, when we feel something come up, in this instance, like a pipe that we've activated for quite a long time, not that time matters, but sometimes I think it can feel a bit more grippy when we've entertained and given momentum to something for a significant amount of time that doesn't feel good. It can feel like it can actually subtly become part of our identity without even realizing it. Like we assume that to be true about ourselves. And sometimes it's the things that are right in front of our face, right under our nose, that we miss. The things that are actually the closest to us, that we overlook and we don't see. And using the little girl analogy I just mentioned, sometimes we need to sit with the negative emotion that we feel within ourselves, whatever it is that we're buying into to be true on some level about ourselves, or whatever that is. It could be just a feeling of sadness that we can't intellectualize, but we feel it come up. And rather than trying to avoid it and move to the side of the stick that feels better, using Abraham's words, sometimes it's good to clean out those drawers by just sitting and letting that emotion be felt. Just sit with it. Don't judge it. Don't make it wrong. Don't try to think you're a bad manifester, or that Abraham are going to be judging you for sitting with a negative emotion. I really don't think that's their message at all. I don't believe that's what they mean. I think sometimes what we need is to just stop running away from something and then let it be included, let it be welcomed within ourselves as a feeling. It doesn't mean run a story and stay in it. Just let the emotion, let the feeling, let whatever it is be felt and be welcomed within ourselves. And interestingly, what I'm noticing is, because my fear was, if I sit with this emotion, if I sit with this thing, I'm going to get lost in it. And it's like I'm going to go into this black void that I won't be able to come out of, and I'll have no ability to focus on the side of the stick that feels better. But what I find interesting is that's not being my experience. I'm noticing that the more I sit with it and let it be felt, and I might have a cry, I might have a release in that way, but I feel lighter. It's like my cork is naturally rising because I'm not avoiding that thing anymore. And because I feel lighter, it's like it's easier for me to focus on that other side of the stick without force and effort. It's like I'm giving myself permission on some level to say it's okay, it's safe to let myself focus on the side of the stick that naturally feels better. So I think the message I'm wanting to bring in this video is, don't be hard on yourself. If you notice that there's something stuck in your craw that is continually coming up for you in terms of a feeling, thoughts, assumptions about yourself, whatever it might be that doesn't feel good, give yourself some space to let yourself feel what's coming up. It's not about getting lost in a story or running a story where you're creating or entertaining a battle in your mind. It's really not so much an intellectual thing, it's just a feeling thing. Let yourself welcome that feeling. And the purpose of this is so you're not keeping those drawers full and efforting to feel good about something that you're actually avoiding within yourself. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it has helped you in some sort of way. And yeah, if you resonated with anything I shared, please leave a comment. I would love to read it. And yeah, hope you have a great day. Bye.